In Dhara, Indo-US Setu, Insight for Creativity has made an attempt at lesser-known areas of close ties between India and the US. Today, we have Dr. David Red, who served as the Director of South Asian Languages with the U.S. Foreign Service Institute for nearly 4 decades. His exposure to India strengthened his conviction towards practicing vegetarianism. Here is Dr. Red with Ashok Vyas.
The experience is hard, there's no question about it. You've heard about the intensity of our training, etc. But the beauty is that the teachers are so thrilled to be imparting the language that the students usually are quite taken by that and become excited themselves to learn this. And it is just so different from anything they've ever learned. I think it's very important that we do have diplomats who can understand literally what is going on. They can pick up the newspaper in the Bharat Times or something in Hindi and see what is being said in Hindi that may not be in the English press. And the same thing with, they can talk to people whose English is not, at the status that most of the people in India have, and there are some people there, but they can find out what they think, they can explain ideas and about America, because we're a very complicated country, and so having people who can do that, I think, is just critical. Well, working with the people I worked with, I think that not only the teachers who are all from India and Nepal and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, etc., because I was very much in the South Asian group of languages, but then also the students. Everybody who comes has a wealth of experience and a wealth of ideas, and that kept me stimulated throughout, being able to hold conversations in several languages and learn about people and learn from people.
We learn from you. Many times people have set agenda in their life. They have some goal that they want to achieve, and they don't look at what else is being offered for them by life, by creation. In your case, were you very much focused? You were open. How was it?
Not very much focused, actually, because I didn't realize I would be coming to FSI to work for so many years, because I was studying the South Asian languages, but I was also studying language education. And I frankly thought I would go overseas, but this job opened up just as I was finishing my doctorate. And so I said, I think I'll apply, and it changed everything. And
tell me a little bit about your role with FSI and also your association with countries like Nepal, India, Pakistan.
Well, the role at FSI, I began as what is called a language training supervisor, which means I worked directly with the teachers and the students of the languages. And I worked in that capacity for over 11 years. And then I became administrative, a director, where I worked more with the supervisors I had been, who were working with everyone. So that was how I did professionally. How I got to the countries actually was, well, over 40 years ago, when I was young and the world was a different place, I actually went from Europe to India on a bus.
Oh, wow.
And just loved every minute of it, and spent several months in India, and particularly I was fortunate to be in the south. I went to Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Goa, etc. And then a few years later I went back and went to Nepal, and actually ended up living there for 5 years as a language teacher.
So let's go to India with you.
Yeah.
The impressions of India that you have had being in South India, rich in terms of its cultural offerings and natural beauty. What appealed to you there, or what are the impressions that have stayed with you?
The impressions is they are just the overwhelming nature of difference, as it were. Nobody is the same in India. And it was just fascinating for me as a young person to be there and to realize when we crossed a state border, I saw different dress, I saw different colors in clothing, I just saw different people, different customs, and when I went to the south, there were gods I hadn't seen in the north. It was that, it's so stimulating.
You know, Nepal. What was it about Nepal that you decided to be there for 5 years?
I love the people. Again, back to the people. I was teaching students who were about 16, 17 years old, finished high school and were in college. So I was working with the youth of Nepal.
What were you teaching them?
English, spoken English, because they learned English in school, but they didn't learn spoken English. And then, of course, the beauty of Nepal. And back then, and this was many years ago, Kathmandu was a small place with just a few people and lots and lots of fields. But the people, I always said it was the people of Nepal that caused me to love it so much.
I think our system, the way FSI is structured, gives a lot of emphasis on the ability of US diplomats to be able to relate, to be able to develop human relationship, where language plays an important role, which is quite in contrast with the general image that America have across the world.
Absolutely, and that's it. We know that we're an island almost here at FSI of difference because, yes, when you go into the other parts of America, people speak English. They probably never learned another language, but here it is nothing that someone has 2 or 3 languages and uses them every day, and it's just more common than we imagine, I think.
How many languages do you speak yourself?
Well, as I always say, are Hindi and Urdu the same language?
तो आप बोलेंगे तो मालूम पड़ेगा कि हिंदी
तो and Nepali.
जी क्या अंतर है नेपाली में और हिंदी में?
हाँ जी बिल्कुल अंतर है तो क्योंकि व्याकरण ग्रामर तो फर्क है और नेपाली से हिंदी आसान तो है क्योंकि मालूम नहीं है लेकिन ऐसा लगता है व्याकरण के दृष्टिकोण से
जब डॉक्टर डेविड रेड के साथ आप बैठे होते हैं तो जिस तरह से वो बोलते हैं ऐसा लगता है एक कोई शांति का झरना सा बह रहा है ऐसा लगता है आप अपने अंदर बहुत प्रसन्न है और एक प्रकार का संतोष आपके अंदर है जो एक गहन समझ जीवन की हो तब आता है आप इसके बारे में कुछ बताएं
मालूम नहीं ये ले तो प्रसन्नता बारह में मिलता है और पेशेंस धैर्य ये तो बस नहीं आए तो अच्छा क्या करूँ तो इसलिए ये बार बार इस किस्म की बात हो गई तो इसलिए बाद में सोचा क्या फ़र्क है तो ऐसा है तो प्रसन्नता सबसे महत्वपूर्ण